When you are looking to hire someone, where do you go to find qualified candidates?
Last two applicants we've got from actually from Craigslist. And,
Really?
we posted a job posting out there and gotten a tremendous amount of resumes from that. And we weed through the resumes to see what's kind of applicable and what's not, especially in today's environment. We've actually gotten a lot of people from out of state or people that are really way out there with degrees that aren't going to be a long-term fit. So you can kind of weed that out from a resume, and then we bring them in for a phone interview after we've kind of narrowed it down, and then the people who get through that stage, then we bring them in for a face-to-face.
What are the kinds of questions you ask in a phone interview?
We just do a lot of verification of the resume itself. We want to see how they can have a conversation. We want to see if they can just talk on the fly without really being prepared. Not that you're catching them off guard, but sometimes when somebody could be really well trained and polished and focused, you want to kind of catch them a little bit off. I think that's good just to see how the conversation goes.
For your position in particular, it's a pretty social environment. They're interacting with your patients on a regular basis. So that is also a good reflection of how they would engage with your clientele.
It's huge, yeah. I mean, that personality and mesh and that ability to think on your feet is absolutely critical in our position.
Yeah, good. So you've phone screened. What are the things that stand out to you to bring someone in for a face-to-face interview?
Well, of course, their ability to really converse with us well on a personal level. How friendly they are. You could tell when someone's smiling on the phone. I mean, it just you could hear it in their voice. You want to make sure that they're coming up with natural tone. You want to make sure that they're speaking from the heart and not necessarily really just they've got some sort of a script in front of them that they can hide behind. So I think it's a real good first weeding process.
Okay. So I'm hearing you talk about how they talk to you, what their personality is like, how friendly they are, how well they can think on their feet. You haven't said anything about their ability to fit a pair of glasses or schedule something in the computer or handle billing.
Right.
Do those things not matter to you?
Not at that stage of the game. They don't. I think those are all skills that you can train. I think that the ability to be computer literate or to learn a new computer system, how to fit glasses and things of that nature, we can train all that. I'm looking for personality. I'm looking for that unique person that wants to be hired, and that desire to be hired, that comes through. You could tell people who want a career path, and you can tell people who just need a job. That comes out. That comes out. So no, we look for personality, not as much skill set.
Okay. What are some deal breakers for you in the interviewing process?
First initial impression. We have people that walk in here when they drop off a resume and they're in jeans and a t-shirt. They're late. They don't conduct themselves well. They don't have good speech patterns. Their slang, their vernacular just really isn't professional. If they're chewing gum, if they're not making eye contact, little things of personality traits that you can never see from a resume, because we have a lot of polished resumes and they come in and people are, wow, that you really look good on paper, but you don't present well. And I think that professional appearance and just taking yourself to that level of professionalism is just absolutely huge, and you can't see that until you actually meet that person.
Does a candidate need to come in a suit, or do they just need to come in and look professional? How in your opinion, and this is just personal preference, but in your opinion, when somebody is walking in to drop off a resume, or somebody is walking in to see what sort of opportunities are here, how important is the level of dress?
I think it's critical. I think it really makes a first impression. One thing my pop taught me growing up was that you can never overdress for an interview. When in doubt, wear that tie. If it's a gentleman, you can't go wrong by having a jacket and a tie on. For ladies wearing professional business attire, it depends on the position you're interviewing for. If I'm interviewing another physician, I would expect them to come in pretty well dressed up. Jeans and a t-shirt or shorts and a backwards hat, not going to cut it.
Yeah.
Even for an entry-level position, and it's predominantly female in our industry, so I don't expect them to be in a suit, but I guess a female business suit, is that proper attire? Yeah, absolutely, because even though you might be wearing scrubs in our office, there are people who wear professional business attire, and I think it's a direct reflection on not only your personality, but also your preparation and your desire for that position.
Good. How do you've kind of alluded to this already, when you're making a final selection, how do you weigh out the required skills for the position versus the cultural fit or organizational fit that you've determined up front?
That's a good question. What I typically do, one of my cheating methods during my interview is I'll let them sit out in the lobby for about 5 to 10 minutes and see how they interact with the staff up front. I notice this from a lot of candidates, also patients too, is that they're completely different around me as they are with the rest of the team. And for me, it's critical that you have a great personality, that you can get along with them in that social environment. I mean, if we've got 6 or 7 team members out there, and I'm in here with patients, you got to interact with them more than you have to interact with me. So after my interview here, depending on how well it goes or doesn't go, I always consult with the bosses, as I call them, up front, and say, how was she up there? You know, did she ask questions? Did she just sit in the corner? Was she just texting on her cell phone? What was her mannerisms out there? Would you want to work with that person? And that weighs heavily, weighs very heavily.
Yeah.
We did, and you know, take it a step further, we just interviewed, we hired an office manager. It was the #1 position that we have in here, my right hand for the next, hopefully, 10 years or more. And after bringing her in for an interview, and I was impressed, I brought my 2 co-managers in to have a group interview, because I'm not going to make that decision solely on what my likes and needs are. That personality has to fit in with their group up front.
Yeah, yeah, good. To all the job seekers that I'm sure you encounter, whether through application process or just through networking, what's one thing that you wish job seekers knew?
How important it is for follow-up. I think that we, you know, for example, we put an ad out. We got 20 responses, 20 resumes got faxed in the next day. We sent an email to all 20 of them. Only 7 responded that they wanted to show up for a phone interview.
Really?
That amazes me. Why would you bother wasting your time sending out a resume? So follow-up #1. If you're serious about the job, you know, our office manager, what she did after the interview, she came in the next day with a handwritten note. There was a quote on our website. She showed us that she did research on our website with one of our motivational quotes. Put that in the bottom of her handwritten card. It showed me that she wanted the job. And as an employer, I'm looking for somebody who wants that position, not somebody who just will accept an hourly wage, but somebody who's actually motivated and desirable for that position.
Yeah. Good. Is there anything else that you encounter with job seekers that you just wish they would do better? Just want to shake them and tell them?
Yeah. Again, proving their own worth.
Yeah.
And not being phony. And that's something that you can't get out of a resume. You have to come across as a person, because if I like you, I'm gonna be more apt to work with you. And that's not something, you might have the best skill set, you might have the best degrees on paper, but if I'm not going to get along with you from a personality standpoint and I don't like you, I'm not going to hire you. And I need to learn that on an interview, and very quickly I need to learn that. So you have to be yourself. Don't because you're not going to be happy as an employee if you put on this false front and you said, I love medical technician and blood and diseases, and it skeeves you out. Don't lie and put yourself in that position because you need a job.
Awesome. All right, that's it. Thanks.
Is it decent?
Yeah, that's good.